What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Dwayne and with Growing Together Nursery, and I'm back to go ahead and discuss something that I wanted to go ahead and get off my chest. I started thinking about it. Well, I mean, what better time to capture something? I mean, Kiki's up in the moringa tree. I don't know where she's going. Oh, all right, back down. Don't knock off any blooms or seed pods. Anyways, she's wild. Anyways, today's discussion, I wanted to go ahead and discuss mulch versus grass and the pros and the cons of each one. I've been mulching for I would say about 2 years now, just over that, and started off with the trees that we went ahead and cut down from this property. So started off with a large load anyways. I already knew that that was going to be part of the plan here, but I know that the mulch, it is tough for certain people to be able to go ahead and get. But if you can get your hands on some, whether it's through chip drop or whether you go out and you buy it, ideally you don't want it treated. This comes straight from the arborist. They go ahead and they drop it off. They hit me up whenever they got enough of it, and this bad boy around, and they let me know, hey, you want it today, tomorrow? I always accept because you always need it. Excuse me. You always need it. And this is all hardwood mulch right here, mainly oak. Oak is the best. That's mainly what I love to go ahead and accept. But then again, you know, rain tree shows up, palms show up. I go ahead and I tip the driver, and always take care of your drivers. These guys are out there working hard every day to give you this awesome stuff. Why am I mulch guy over this beautiful grass? Well, first and foremost, this will actually feed your trees. It'll feed all of these beautiful fruit trees in there later on in life. Once it breaks down, the worms come up, all the bugs come up, they all start eating, breaking down the organic matter and start pooping in there. So what does that turn into? Yep, fertilizer. Well, what about this awesome stuff, this green stuff that you got to pay for to water, to fertilize, and for what? What do you get? First and foremost, why do we have this here? Well, that's the septic over there, drain field. I don't want to go ahead and plant on here. And I drive around here. Go ahead and take the trailers back in there. I see you staring at the little yachty. Shout out to the canoe. But I have it because I drive all around in here. So I don't really care for this grass. I don't like taking care of it. What does it do for you? Well, technically, nothing besides soil erosion, and it's a parking lot. Yeah, it looks great. It's green. Yay. But you got to mow it. You got to take care of it. You got to weed eat it. You know, now we're about to get some rain here. So what happens? Every week, every 2 weeks, you're out here mowing and wasting time. And what does it give you? Nothing. Okay. Yes, it says that it's good for the climate. But also when you have to fertilize it. And now, granted, listen, there's no HOA in this neighborhood. Thank the Lord, I would have never signed up otherwise. But I don't fertilize. I don't even have irrigation on any of this grass. Front yard is just for parking, so I don't really worry about that. But what do you get? You get nothing. You got to water, you got to fertilize. And if you have St. Augustine, you know the woes. You know that you have to go ahead and keep it looking good. No weeds. You got to do all the fun stuff. So you're paying the HOA, so then that way you can pay more to go ahead and keep that lawn great, because guess what? You're keeping up with the Joneses. Well, you see the baker's yard over there, it's all green and looking good. You got to keep up with them. What do they do though? They're dropping hundreds of dollars into what? Grass that does nothing for you, you know? Just so you can't, I get it. Okay, there's a space for it. You play soccer for sports, you know, for football, what have you. Can you do it in mulch? Later, once it breaks down, but once it's new, it is fluffier. It's like a mattress, if you will. But yes, if you're playing sports and you got kids and you need somewhere for them to run around, okay. But if you're trying to grow and you're looking to actually, let me get in the shade a little bit, and you're trying to grow and you actually want to feed yourself, this does nothing for you, okay? Again, pros, sure, green, looks great. On paper, Yep, all the neighbors will know that you spend the most. Yay! What do you win? Nothing. You spend a lot of money on just brainwash, basically. It came from Europe. You know, they said, hey, you don't need to grow food. Look how much money we have. Just grow grass. Look at this. We got so much money. You don't need to have anything here. And it's like, yay, look, it's a flex, right? That's all it is. You go over and you show everyone that you don't need to buy food. You don't need a, you got so much room that you could just grow a field of nothing, instead of growing food, right? But guess what? It took off and it soared, and people took off and said, yeah, I can do the same thing. And now we got riders, and people are arguing right now over gas versus electric right now. That's a big deal, right? Instead of going with neither. Cut out the grass, mulch everything, and let's feed the soil, all right? This is all fresh. I've been going at it like crazy, right? So pros and cons. Pros, I won't have to water later on. As this breaks down, once it rains, it turns into a sponge and it soaks up all of the water in here, right? Not only that, so water, I won't have to do as much, okay? Initially, you got to go ahead and charge it. You got to go ahead and get the water to go ahead and soak up. Later on, it's set and forget. Now it's going to be food and hydration, right? So two things I won't have to do. What does the grass give you? Absolutely nothing. It scorches. See, I do have a couple of spots I need to come back in here and take care of, but my point exactly, what does it do? The grass just shows the sugar sand underneath. There's nothing in that. You got to cover that. If not, what comes out of there? Yep, weeds. Yay! You don't want the weeds. The mulch keeps down the weeds, right? Now, if you were to go ahead and, wow, look at this leaf really quick on this Shangri-La. This thing is huge. Big leaf. Yeah, the mulch keeps down the weeds. Is it an ongoing battle? Well, smilax will always come up. Is edible. Top little green shoots, kind of like a wild asparagus. But I got these everywhere. Will the weeds come up? Of course. Am I back here weeding and pulling them out? Yeah. Dollar weed, edible, right? You can eat that. But now, once the weeds do come up, frog fruit, you can just pull them right out, and they come right up because you got about 4 to 6 inches of mulch down there. So by the time they come up to the top, there's nothing left of them down there. You just pull it right up, and it's fairly simple. Now, will it be perfect? No. No, there is no perfect area, Do I drop cardboard? And man, you know how much cardboard I'd have to lay down if I went ahead and thought about putting it down on every square inch of this? Like, I don't generate that much trash, and nor do I buy that much Amazon. So no, I kind of filled in some of the areas here and there as I collected it, but really I'd say 90% of this is just straight mulch on top of the grass. And as you can see, yeah, you get frog fruit, that is part of trail maintenance. You keep your trails nice and clean. Yep, as it rains, it starts coming back. This grass will come back and attack, but what do? What do I do? Throw more mulch down. Keep throwing it down, and eventually we're gonna win. If I did nothing, of course, the grass would all grow back and this mulch would just break down into the soil like nothing. But proper maintenance, you come out here, take care of it, add more, and fight it back, because eventually all these trees will be feeding straight off of the mulch underneath. All the worms, all the insects come up and feed and distribute that fertilization back into the system. So I will always advocate for mulch. It is much better than grass. Again, you can't do nothing. It's not feeding anything. It's a waste. And you got to buy tractors. You got to go ahead and buy batteries, all this kind of crazy stuff. For what? Drop some mulch in the ground and tell your neighbors to catch up, This stuff right here, I think I've had this down. And this, I will say this, in the nursery side, I did use more cardboard just because I wanted to go ahead and clean it up a little bit better. But still, they come up in here. You're still going to find little bits in here. Is it perfectly weeded? Absolutely not. But we're fine with that. But mulch, people, I'm telling you, don't be a grass hole. Mulch your yards. You will love it. And no, right away, you know, the fight is, and everyone talks about it, well, when you first put down mulch, it's going to strip away all the nutrients from your trees. Couldn't you, in that same regard, couldn't you just added a little bit of organic fertilizer to go ahead and supplement for that loss, right? That's an idea. Just add in a little bit more, give it a little bit more nitrogen, fish or what have you, to go ahead and add it in, supplement for it. But yeah, there's many ways of doing it. And is this the right way? Talk to me in a couple of years. But I think that there's a lot of research and a lot of people right now are using this method and are being have seen great results. To me, nature's always best. And if you're using natural mulch, unsprayed, not treated, straight from the arborist, sorry about the glare, people, but straight from the arborist, I don't see why it's a problem. But again, this is a new system, I've only been on the property for going on 3 years here in August. But check in and we'll let you know. But so far, I'm mulch life, baby. Y'all have a great weekend. Just wanted to go ahead and get it off my chest. Take it easy, folks. Keep growing and let's do it together. Later.